Excellency William Samuel Ruto. 528 John Mugo Kiragu and 5 others versus the National Assembly of Kenya and 4 others.
Hello, that matter, my name is Simon Muguru. I'm on record for the petitioners. We'll be appearing together with Mr. Gachagua, present in court, and Mr. Gachagua.
Where's Mr. Gachagua? Not the Gachagua we're expecting. Yes.
And Mr. Gachagua, I am present.
For the National Assembly, again you have Mr. Eric Gumbo, Paul Nyamodi, Moses, okay, Ken Meli, Dr. Tommy Kiekolu, and myself, Peter Wanyama. But for the Speaker of the National Assembly, you have Mr. Milimo.
Just a minute. You are for which party first?
For the first respondent.
Yes, second respondent.
Yes, so for the second respondent, I have the privilege to introduce Mr. Milimo, who is the online platform, Mr. Kuyoni, who is present in court, and Mr. Kama, also present in court. For the third and fourth respondent, we have Mrs. Tanji, together with Ms. Paula. Thank you.
Yes. I hope you have taken quorum on all the relevant files.
Do you have 557, Madam?
The speaker for
537, yes. This is the one. 537, we have Gemma Watho Association versus the National Assembly. Mr. Kiragova?
I appear together with Mr. Wambogo Wajio. Next week. Mr. Kariuki Karanja, who is the party on the platform, and Mr. James Dennis, equally on the platform.
James Dennis.
James Dennis.
In this matter, for the first respondent, the National Assembly, we have Mr. Eric Gumbo in the online platform, Paul Nyamodi in the online platform, Moses Kiptugei in the online platform, Ken Meli in the online platform, Dr. Mdomi Kiekolu, the online platform, and myself, Peter Wanyama. But for the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, who appear second and the third respondent, respectively, you have Mr. Milimo, the online platform, Mr. Kuyoni and Ms. Kama, the President of Court, those two parties. Then, my Lord, for the Senate, that is the fourth and the fifth respondent as the Speaker of the Senate, we have Mrs. Stanji.
We have who?
Mrs. Stanji. And so Paula, they are present in court. Physically. Thank you.
There is an
There's AG first.
there's AG as and Honorable Rigathi Gachagua also as interested parties.
Yes.
I think that does for the quorum.
Representation.
Yes.
Lord, all these petitions,
You want to address me on which one?
522.
Yes.
Lord, before I address these quotes, 522 is one housekeeping issue that perhaps your lordships and your leadership may wish to address this, which is that your brother, Mr. Justice, the Honorable Mr. Justice Mugambi, directed all these files to the Chief Justice. They raised cross-cutting issues. So to save on judicial time, I don't know whether this court prefers that they be heard together without being consolidated, or whether the court would refer to other courts. Just drawing the attention of this honorable court to that, so that we can clarify how we move forward with all the 6 petitions. But that the 6 petitions have been filed because of the very weighty issues, constitutional issues that are raised in each of these 6 matters. So the issue for the court to resolve, do we hear them together without formal petition, or do we consolidate hear them? Yes.
What is your proposal? Because we are submitting on the issue.
My proposal, subject to what my learned friends say, is that we hear them together, currently, without any formal consultation. But I leave it to my colleagues and finally to them. You are the ones who get paid.
Thank you.
And then for the respondents,
Your Lordship, I thought I was speaking to my learned friend that perhaps the petitioners also make their proposals, so that in respect to my learned seniors' suggestions, so that the respondents can then enjoy. I am of the same view, Your Lordship, in petition number 509, that since they raise cross-cutting issues, for proper management of our time and expediency, that a consolidation of the same be considered.
Yes.
So that we can have a centralized way of advocating over the matters. So that if I am to submit, Your Lordship, I submit on the consolidated petition. am most obliged.
Yes.
Since the other petitioner don't want to have a bite.
Mr. Ndegwa, that was you.
Yes, Your Lordship, in E0509.
Yes.
Your Lordship, in 537, we can have the matters heard alongside each other without a problem.
Your name?
My name is Gachagua.
Mr. Kirago.
In 537.
My Lord, with your permission, in petition number 5/2024, Simon Willis by name, I would wish that we proceed with the matter being consolidated to respond to a consolidated petition.
Simon.
Simon Willis.
Yes, you prefer consolidation.
Consolidation.
Then we have council who are online. I believe that you understand what we are talking about here, and if you want to contribute, you may say something.
My Lord, perhaps if I may, for the National Assembly, my name is Nyamodi. I am online.
Yes.
My Lord, the National Assembly is a respondent in all these petitions. And perhaps, my Lord, this is an opportune time for me to point out to you that there are 23 other petitions. There are 29 in number altogether.
Yes.
My Lord, the National Assembly has made an application for consolidation. And that application for consolidation is on the court record in this matter. And my Lord, the National Assembly is of the view that these matters are best dealt with after consolidation, that they are consolidated and had as a consolidated petition. Because the issues are cross-cutting and they are the same in nearly all the 29 petitions that are pending in respect of this process.
Thank you. Is there any other person who wants to submit on the issue?
Yes, my Lord, with your permission.
Yes.
Milimo, my Lord. My Lord, I appear, my Lord, for the Speaker of the National Assembly. My Lord, on our part, we associate ourselves with the submissions of Malani Senior, Mr. Nyamodi. My Lord, you shall note that the petitions, my Lord, a total to 29 in number, my Lord, raise similar or same issues. And my Lord, so that then we handle these issues together, we would propose, my Lord, that you exercise, my Lord, some patience to have all those matters availed before the bench, my Lord, one way or the other. Because, my Lord, you shall note that some have since been referred to the CJ, and it's expected, my Lord, that they will all land before this bench. And that, my Lord, therefore, so that we take directions once and for all in respect of all those matters, my Lord, we would respect that maybe the court considered, my Lord, to grant this matter a mentioned date, maybe by Friday, at which time, my Lord, it would be expected that all the matters would have been availed before you, then we take directions at once. We will go for consolidation, my Lord, of all the matters so that we have one consolidated file. And if possible, my Lord, then we sieve the issues in all the files so that the responses can be one to all the petitions as opposed to each, which will be, my Lord, a little bit difficult and tedious for the parties. I thank you, my Lord.
Thank you. Mr. Milimo and Mr. Namodi, have you cited the 29 petitions which you claim have been filed?
My Lord, we have cited as many as they were when the application for consolidation was made. But my Lord, they have been coming thick and fast. I have the list of the 29. If your Lordship wants, I can read it out and place it on the record.
Yes, Kasina Council Muti.
Lord, being a court of law, particularly a court of law, means that the court is guided by practice. Your Lordships, your Ladyship are being addressed about files which are not before this court. You cannot make any orders regarding consolidations or being hard together. These 6 files are before this honorable court pursuant to the orders of the Chief Justice. Anybody wants to do anything else, let them follow the correct procedure. But we are anxious today in 522 to argue our notice of motion for conservatory orders. That is why we are here. I hear my colleague, learned friend Mr. Milimo, talking about Friday after the same day of Sabbath. We are seeking to persuade this court to issue a conservatory order today so that the illegality and constitutional resolution by the National Assembly does not proceed any further. Give us that opportunity to persuade this court on our notice of motion for the conservatory orders. Unless, of course, my colleagues Mr. Milimo and Mr. Nyamondi concede to our application for a conservatory order so that this court can have the luxury of time to listen to all these very weighty issues. But for this afternoon, for this evening, we seek the opportunity to persuade this court to give us a conservatory order.
Yes, Mr. Peter.
Yeah, my Lord, I was addressing the issue of consolidation. My colleague is agitated, doesn't want me.
I don't think you are the ones to make response with respect to what they have submitted on.
The issue of consolidation, I think, should not take too much of our time.
That's okay, my Lord.
Yes.
My Lord, I want just to clarify.
Yes.
My Lord, there are files. For example, there's a file today which we have just appeared before Justice Chacha Mwita. We appear as respondents in all these matters. Therefore, we have a singular duty to bring out these facts to the court so that we can consider. Today, at 3:30, Justice Chacha Mwita has made a ruling in 550.
Mr. Peter, why don't we deal with the issue of consolidation of the 6 files before us here? Yeah. Then we can then move forward.
My Lord, the issue of consolidation we are submitting will be, if you make that order now, it's going to be affected with the decision which has been made today by Justice Chacha Mwita. And my Lord, I want to just address you so that you can consider that. So my Lord, today Justice Chacha Mwita has issued a ruling in 550 of 2024, forwarding this file to the Chief Justice, and the comments from the file by the learned judge is that the Chief Justice should consider forwarding that file as well to this bench for consideration. So my Lord, that is information which is useful. My Lord, secondly, in Kiambu 039 of 2024. Again, the learned judge has issued a similar order, forwarding the file to the Chief Justice for consideration by this, for possible consideration by this bench. Again, in Kerugoya E01 of 2024, similar orders have been issued. So that, my Lord, whereas we don't oppose the order for consideration, if those other files are then brought by the Chief Justice to this bench, then there will be a need for further consolidation or consideration for that question of further consolidation. That's why, my Lord, Mr. Milimo was submitting that, and we take great exception to the submission that conservatory orders be issued. You cannot issue conservatory orders when the question...
I ask for an opportunity to argue that application is going into the merits.
Lord, I'm not arguing the merits. What I'm saying is that you cannot consider the question of conservatory orders until all the files are properly before you for determination. Nonetheless, my Lord, if they are ready to argue the question of conservatory orders, my Lord, we are ready to respond to that question of conservatory orders. But, my Lord, we are just bringing facts to court so that, my Lord, when you make judicial decisions, my Lord, you are guided by Mutunga rules, which require efficiency, judicial economy, and, my Lord, scarce use of judicial resources.
Your Lordship, we are here because you have 6 files before you. And these files not just laid before this bench. They were through a judicial process of certification. Any file that is not before you has not been certified by the justice, cannot be a point of consideration when considering the question of consolidation. I am equally eager, Your Lordship, to urge my application on the conservatory order. So, Your Lordship, anything that is not before you, most respectfully, cannot be a question for your consideration.
My Lord.
Yes.
For the Senate and the Speaker of the Senate.
Your name?
Thank you, my Lord.
Yes.
We are parties, we are in the same position as the National Assembly. We find ourselves in this, all these petitions. The petitioners have the luxury of dealing with their specific petitions. So, my Lord, the question of consolidation is an important one. And also what Mr. Wanyama has submitted is important. There are 3 other files that will be referred to this bench or whichever other bench that you just decides to constitute. So, my Lord, at this point, what the petitioners are doing this afternoon is grossly unfair to the respondents. We would need the court to give directions on the preliminary matters, and we are not afraid to proceed with the application. We have filed our grounds of opposition to the application. But, my Lord, when we find ourselves in all these matters at the same time, it becomes very difficult for the respondents to handle the court. So, my Lord, we ask that
This is what we agreed that we deal with as well as the 6 because of the ones the procedure so we did get the 6 which we have here. The civil can open another applications. Yes, for the people now we deal with what is being done. But we tell them to come in the morning. We did get directions. Yeah, tomorrow. What I heard my learned friend from the Senate suggesting is that
I think it's just in order when you speak, you introduce yourself because we don't keep the names in yes.
My name is Kirago.
Mr. Kirago.
What I heard my learned friend suggesting is that for now, do not listen
to an application for a conservatory order made by the petitioner, because there are other petitions which are not before you that may come before you or they may go before another court. These petitions, my Lord, we've learned through this process, they continue to be filed more or less after 2 days, after 3 days. There will be no end to filing of these petitions. So, for what is before you, let us proceed. We also ready to have your application for conservatory order. And this, my Lord, all this time we love when petitions are being filed left, right, center. So it is not unfair to file petitions against the National Assembly or the Senate, and therefore the suggestion that we are being unfair to them to include them in every petition is totally wrong, because they are the proper parties in the petition. Thank you.
My Lord, perhaps,
Yes.
with your permission,
Yes.
this is Nyamodi for the National Assembly. If I could perhaps just point out to the bench that the invitation that was sent out by the Deputy Registrar of the Constitutional Division to parties yesterday indicated that the matter is before the bench this afternoon for a mention. I'm not sure whether it is then proper, if this matter is set down before you for a mention, for any party to seek to urge any substantive application that is pending for hearing and determination in this matter.
My Lord, if I may, looking at all the petitions that have been filed before this court, most of them had a certificate of urgency seeking ex parte orders. So therefore, it is not true, or it's not convincing from my learned colleague, Mr. Nyamodi, that it is not fair for them to be confronted with application during a mention for a case that has been listed for a mention.
Who is speaking?
Those orders that
What is your name? What is your name?
Has been sought ex parte.
Please, can you tell us who you are?
My Lord, my lady, my name is Lempa in petition 525 of 2024.
My Lord and my lady, if my colleague is through, permit me to say something small.
Yes, Mr. Harvey.
The purpose of today's mention was for the bench to take directions in respect of the disposal of the petitions that were forwarded to the Chief Justice pursuant to the ruling of Justice Lawrence Mugambe, and or to consider any interlocutory applications. As we speak right now, responses to the petitions and the applications have not been made. My humble request therefore will be for the court to give directions of the filing of responses if the court is minded to determine the petitions instead of dealing with interlocutory applications, and to give us an indication when we may return to either hear those interlocutory applications or the petitions as consolidated if the court is minded to consolidate them. Otherwise, we'll end up spending so much judicial time hearing everybody on a matter which the court of itself will even have made directions or more.
When did they file a application? This is an application.
Senator Council, you said you filed an application.
Yes.
In this matter.
Yes.
Can you cite it? Where?
Lord, in 5/2024, we have the following documents. One, the certificate of urgency dated 2nd of October 2024.
Yes, I've seen the application.
It is there, including hard copy.
When was it filed?
2nd of October 2020.
And
This is what was before the Honorable Justice Mugabe.
it was not heard.
We say the issues raised in the certificate and in the petition are so weighty that they needed more than one judge. And your brother agreed, and therefore sent the petition and the certificate to the Chief Justice to constitute this bench, which I'm happy was constituted. And therefore, we made it clear for the petition applicant in 522 that we wished to argue this certificate of urgency before a 3-judge bench. And we are here today. We wish to argue that certificate.
Have you received any responses to that application?
Yes, they have filed grounds of opposition, PU, and that sort of thing. They comply. And my Lord, we are seeking to stop the impeachment in the Senate tomorrow. So we need to be heard today, whichever way this court proceeds to.
Lord, can I make one submission?
Just a minute.
Let's consolidate this. Let's also what we have. We get first to 6 petition and whatever another petitioners and then consolidate and then 2. Tell them if any party wants to file a submission or wants to file whatever thing between now and morning, because time will make them value. Then we will give them time. If you are able to file written submission, if not, we'll give you limited time to split. So we choose if you go to sleep. But you know, if it's 10 minutes, it will be 10 minutes. Yeah. It's what we coordinate. Yeah.
What time?
It has been early. So that.
9 o'clock.
So that we give them like 2 hours to around 11. So that they the minute is going to be important.
Okay. So yeah, that's one. So we consolidate the funds we have first. We give them time to
respondents. To file submissions. They have to file correspondence. To file submissions. And the hearing will be on the entire application in the 6th of provision.
On the conservatory.
Yes, on the conservatory. So we have on the applications in the 6th. So whoever wants to respond.
Yes. So this one will 20, is it? Yes. 520.
For 520. The lead.
Do you limit your submissions or just the submissions? Do we limit the submissions?
So in terms of consolidation, we have to reconfigure the parties.
No problem. You can do that in a minute.
Okay.
You can do that.
Of the submissions which were made, firstly on consolidation of the matters which are before us, and secondly on the issue of the application dated 2nd of October.
Your Lordship, how about my application? I indicated that I would also wish to urge my application dated the 30th of September.
Which orders are you seeking?
I am seeking for conservatory orders as well.
Which kind of consolidation orders?
Your Lordship.
You see, once we deal with the issue of consolidation, your file will find itself inside there. Yes. So it seems to us best to have all these matters consolidated and heard together as a consolidated petition. And that is the order of the court. What we'll then do is to reconfigure the parties and find out how we refer to them. Judge Mrema will lead us in this process. By the way, consolidation is only for matters which are before us. We cannot entertain any matter which is not currently before us. So the 6 matters which were referred to this bench will be consolidated and had together as one consolidated petitions. Will then now reconfigure the parties.
Thank you very much, President Judge. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can hear you.
Yes, my lord, we can hear you, my lord.
Okay. Now, going by the ruling delivered by Judge Mugambi on the 11th day of October 2024, petition 522 of 2024 was made the lead petition. Therefore, the first petitioner in this series will be the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, that is petitioner number 1, and then the parties in 509. In 509, we have 5 petitioners. So petitioner number 2 will be Obuli Namenya. Petitioner number 3 will be Kennedy Karidi Gachagua. Petitioner number 4 will be Dennis Okumu. Number 5 will be Simon Muchangi. And number 6 will be Peter Maina Kanene. Then parties in 537. That will be petitioner number 7 will be Gema Watho Association. (528). Petitioner number 8 in the series will be John Mugo Kiragu. (525). Petitioner number 9 in the series will be Njomo John. And in 506, petitioner number 10 will be Caroline Wambui Mwangi. Then on the part of the respondents, parties will appear as follows. The first 4 respondents in the lead petition, that is 522, will continue appearing at the first to the 4th respondent. That is, the first respondent will be the Speaker of the National Assembly of Kenya. Second is the National Assembly of Kenya. Third respondent will be the Speaker of the Senate. And the 4th will be the Senate. Then we will have Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula as the 5th respondent, Honorable Amason King Jeffa as the 6th respondent, the Honorable Attorney General will appear as the 7th respondent. And interested parties will appear as follows.
And look, if you're going to be interested party, you've forgotten Deputy Speaker, National Assembly.
Deputy Speaker, National Assembly?
Yes.
Which file does he appear in? I didn't see any of such a party.
The Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly appears in E537.
537, just a minute. E5.
It's still at the current spot.
Just a minute. 557, it's here. Oh yes, appears as the third respondent. So this one will be, we will reconfigure again. Let's have the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly as the fifth respondent. Then Honorable Wetangula becomes the sixth. Then Honorable Amason Jeffa becomes the seventh. And the Honorable AG becomes the eighth respondent. Any other respondent we've left out? Okay. Then in respect of the interested parties, they will appear as follows. The first interested party will be Honorable William Samoei Ruto. And it appears like he'll be the sole interested party in this thing. Pardon?
LSK.
On LSK. In which file does LSK appear?
We are the interested party in the lead file 522 of 2024.
So LSK becomes the second interested party. Any other interested party?
It's not in 528.
528.
Yes,
Mount Kenya Jurors. Oh yes, yes. So Mount Kenya Jurist will be the third interested party. Next. Okay. We don't have any amici, so I think we are done with the consolidation and how the parties will appear henceforth. Thank you, President.
May I now have the opportunity to address you?
On what issue?
On my notice of motion in 522 of
We have just a minute.
Just a correction on the names.
Yes.
Although your record should properly reflect the parties. When you refer to Honorable William Samoei Ruto, the proper statutory name is His Excellency. So you put HE instead of Honorable. Although the same applies for regarding Gachagua.
Mr. Wanyama, I'm bound by the pleadings here, and they refer him as William Samoei Ruto.
Lord, I'm just mentioning for the record of the court.
Yes.
That's what the petition is.
Yes, we have taken preliminary arguments put forth by Senior Counsel Mwite and very brief responses which were made by various parties and responses thereto. We recognize that the application dated 2nd of October 2024 is a very urgent application, and therefore we will not entertain any further discussion on whether or not it should be had. The directions we are making is that we direct all parties to file submissions of 5-page, each to be highlighted tomorrow in the morning at 9 So your submissions must be on file by 8 a.m. We'll give you 5 minutes each to highlight one issue in your submissions.
Well, that defeats the whole purpose.
Hello?
That defeats the whole purpose of the notice of motion by the Deputy President, because Senate is commencing its impeachment at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And the whole purpose of this notice of motion was to stop that impeachment from commencing. So it's purely academic. We ask that we be heard now so that the record will reflect the arguments of the Deputy President, whichever way this honorable bench will move. But asking us to come tomorrow at 9 renders our notice of motion purely academic.
My Lord, if I may.
Yes, yes.
My Lord, this is Yamodi for the second respondent of the National Assembly. Tomorrow 9 a.m. may not be convenient because the Senate will be proceeding with the impeachment tomorrow morning. And in any event, my Lord, it is the second respondent's respectful position that this application, similar application, has been determined only a few hours ago by your brother, Mr. Justice Chacha Mwita. Those same facts were argued before Mr. Justice Chacha Mwita, and before your lordships decide whether or not to hear this application, it would be important to have sight of your brother Justice Chacha Mwita's ruling of this afternoon.
Because the Chief Justice considered that it is right that this notice of motion for conservative order be considered by a bench of 3 judges, which is why he constituted this. Give us an opportunity. And I will be very brief on it, take more than 15 minutes. That's all. At least the justice is seen to be done.
Is it correct that a similar application was heard and determined by Justice Chacha Mwita?
One judge. The orders by the Honorable Mr. Justice Mugambi was that this matter, research weighted issues, they should be heard, the conservative application, by 3 judges. And your Lordship, I have no doubt I'll be able to convince you to grant the conservative application. You give us 15, 20 minutes.
My Lord,
with your permission, my Lord.
Just a minute, please.
My Lord.
have somebody in line before you. Somebody.
Yes, my Lord,
yes.
If I may go first.
Oh, my Lord, my name is Lampa in petition 525 of 2024. Now, given that Justice Chacha Mwita has already settled the question as to whether the court has jurisdiction to audit any action on impeachment and whether it complies with the Constitution, kindly allow me to make an oral application. So now that this matter is oscillating between the judiciary and the National Assembly, it is yet to go to the third arm of the government, which is the executive. My Lord, my lady, kindly admit my oral application seeking the following orders. That pending the hearing and determination of this petition, a conservatory order issue restraining the President or his agents from nominating and or forwarding any name to the National Assembly for consideration of approval as newly appointed Deputy President. The second, on the grounds that the court has determined it has jurisdiction on these issues. The court has a bench already seized on this matter, has already started to process the various petitions before you. There is no legal order restraining the President or his agents from nominating and forwarding to the National Assembly with lightning speed a new DP nominee to the National Assembly for approval if the Senate votes to impeach the current...
Mr. Lempa, I would suggest that you let us finish the issue before us here, then you can raise any application, we'll listen to you.
I am supporting my...
There's an application that's the 2nd of October 2024. We want to deal with that one first.
Mine is also, the petition, my notice of motion is also dated the 2nd day of October 2022. It's in support of that particular notice of motion.
Did you serve it?
Yes. And it was acknowledged, and that's the reason why we have respondents in that particular petition.
My Lord.
Respondents from the advocates from the National Assembly, Mr. Nyamodi and Gumbo, advocates, my learned seniors.
I think for the purposes of order, we cannot at the same time talk about two applications. We will deal with that one application, and if necessary, we'll go to the second application. For the time being, we are dealing with the application dated 2nd of October 2024 by Senior Counsel Paul Mwite.
Yes, my Lord, with your permission.
Just a minute, please.
Milimo, my Lord.
Yes, please.
Now, my Lord, with the new configuration, my Lord, I appear for the 1st, 5th, and 6th respondents. My Lord, we've had the direction that you've given, my Lord, that we appear before you tomorrow at 9 in respect, my Lord, of the lead petitions application. My Lord, on our part, we will be ready to appear before you, my Lord, in the morning to oppose that application, my Lord. And that, my Lord, you shall note that in the decision that has just been delivered by your brother, Justice Mwita, it had some typographical errors, my Lord, that His Lordship indicated that it will be ready soon. We will be requesting, my Lord, that you grant us an opportunity to rely on that ruling, to demonstrate, my Lord, that the lead petitioner before you is engaging in a process of abusing, my Lord, the judicial process. And that, my Lord, as we appeared before you this afternoon, my Lord, you shall note that some of us, my Lord, appeared virtually because we know, my Lord, that the matter is coming up only for directions. For my learned colleague, therefore, my Lord, to seek that we proceed with the motion today is in itself, my Lord, being not only discourteous, but dishonest also, my Lord.
We have considered these submissions, and we must be alive to the urgency of the matter. After we made directions, Senior Counsel Paul Mwite gave his further views, and we have consulted, and we are giving directions forward in a few minutes' time.
Your Lordship, we are ready about the directions given, but perhaps Your Lordship, as you consider the direction sought by my senior learned counsel, there is an application in 528, equally dated the 2nd of October, which is looking to address the consequences of the functions that will ensue either tomorrow or Thursday, that may or may not render the office of the Deputy President vacant. This is a very substantive question of should the Senate proceed to impeach the Deputy President, who is a petitioner, number one. What will ensue constitutionally in the absence of the IBC vis-a-vis the nomination that my learned friend Mr. Lempar was addressing? That is an equally important question in Lordship. Would seek your indulgence that as soon as senior counsel submits and pens off, that you grant us an opportunity to address you and convince you the reason as why you need to admit our application.
Mr. Gachagua, I think that's what that is what I said. Yes. That let's deal with the senior counsel's application. After we finish that, if there's any other applications, we can consider it.
I am willing to compromise my application and deal with the application in 528.
My Lord, I'm not arresting your directions. I'm just also going on record. My Lord, and this is now a practical scenario. My Lord, yesterday in petition 550 of 2024, we appeared for 4 hours from around 10 a.m. to around 2:30, hearing the question of conservatory orders before Justice Chacha Mwita. My Lord, the petitioner in that matter is regarding Gachagua. And my Lord, today at 3 p.m., Justice Chacha Mwita delivered a ruling dismissing the application for conservatory orders. And my Lord, in that ruling, which we don't have the benefit of possessing the physical copy, the judge has said that the petition which he has determined is similar to this one. And therefore, even as you give directions, my Lord, for us, we will be ready, we'll stretch ourselves if your directions are that we hear this matter. But my Lord, it is really a process which...
I think there's a good argument in the submission that this is a 3-judge bench.
Yes, yes.
And they want this matter to be considered by a 3-judge bench.
Absolutely, my Lord.
Yes.
So, my Lord, I'm just mentioning, as I wonder, that in that matter, the learned Justice Mwita has stated that the issues in that petition, which he has issued an order dismissing the request for conservatory orders, and in this matter are similar. So the learned judge has forwarded the file to the Chief Justice with a direction that the Chief Justice considers it to be forwarded here for purpose of similarity. I'm just pointing out the convergence, my Lord, so that you're able to have a picturesque perspective on the issue. So, my Lord, even if we are ready, even if you direct that we hear this application, just know that, my Lord, we are really stretched in terms of the issues. We are really stretched in terms of time, and even my Lord, our physical ability to stand here and, my Lord, again, argue the same matter which we've been arguing, my Lord, for the last 5 hours.
We have water here.
May I?
Pass him.
If he had any respect for age, he would have perhaps outside.
Yes, are you ready to take directions? Yes. Yes, we'll give directions on that application.
All right. We have considered the submissions made by Council with respect to the application of the 2nd of October 2024, and the following are the directions of the court issued presupposing that all parties have responded to that application. The bench will hear the application in appreciation of the urgency of the matter as well as the weighty issues arising, but on very strict timelines, again being realistic about the amount of time that is available. And in the following order, we will allow 7 minutes for each of the petitioners. 7 minutes for each of the petitioners. We will allow 5 minutes for each of the respondents to respond, 5 minutes, and we will allow a further 5 minutes for rejoinder by the petitioners. We aim to render a ruling tomorrow at 8 a.m. But let us keep within the timelines that the court has stated for our respective oral submissions.
And the regional done for 5 minutes. Rather making a request.
Yes, that one is not a bad one.
Yes. Making the adjournment because I need to go to the car to pick my authorities. We didn't know that we are coming to make submissions, so we proceed.
Yes, that is in order. We'll adjourn for 5 minutes.
My Lord, we would like to come to court now that we are proceeding. We had only prepared for a mention, and maybe we would need about 30 or 45 minutes to get to court so that we can.
We can hear you very clearly, Mr. Nyamodi. If you can just remain where you are, there's no prejudice. We'll be able to hear you.
Most of them.
Okay, we'll give you 30 minutes. We'll give you 30 minutes. All those who want to come to the open court, we'll give you 30 minutes.
Yes, my Lord, I was going to make a similar request.
Yeah.
Thank you. We will be in court, my Lord.
Let's start at 6 p.m.
What's the time? We start at exactly 6 p.m.
No face,